most welcome to Historiespanarna, History Reconnaissance, and the Coldest Battle. US soldiers struggle in Korea's Winter War. During the Korean War, 1950–53, winter conditions posed extreme challenges for US forces and their United Nations allies. In the fall of 1950, American soldiers and their commanding officers were unprepared for the first Korean winter, when temperatures could plunge to more than 30 degrees below zero and Arctic winds from Siberia yielded deadly consequences. These brutal conditions created a series of problems and difficulties for American troops, both militarily and logistically. So, let's see some images of this struggle in snow and ice, and please subscribe to our channel and join us on our journey in history. During the Battle of the Bulge in World War II, many of the frostbite cases treated were actually trench-foot. That meant, when the Korean War broke out, the US Army had little real experience dealing with true frostbite in combat conditions. In just the first winter alone, over 5,300 American soldiers suffered frostbite. Many were evacuated in time to receive treatment, but countless others were not so fortunate. Trapped by battle conditions, they lost fingers, toes, and in severe cases entire hands or feet. Others endured the agony of frostbitten noses and ears, wounds that left lasting scars long after the fighting ended. After the first brutal winter in Korea, the US military realized it had to adapt fast. Frostbite had crippled thousands of soldiers, so better cold weather gear was rushed to the front: parkas, mittens, and insulating sleeping bags. Layered wool clothing also helped trap body heat and block the freezing wind. And the famous Mickey Mouse boots, rubber boots filled with air that kept the feet warm even in sub-zero snow. Here, on display on the feet of the Commander-in-Chief, Dwight D. Eisenhower. The freezing conditions also turned weapons into unreliable tools. Rifles and machine guns jammed when the lubricants thickened in the cold. Vehicle engines refused to start, fuel froze, and radios died because batteries drained almost instantly in sub-zero temperatures. And getting supplies to the front? That was a nightmare. Trucks slid off icy mountain roads, convoys broke down, and rations froze into rock-solid blocks of ice. Soldiers often had to thaw their food over fire, something that could give away their position to the enemy. The terrain made everything worse. Deep snow slowed down movements. Tanks struggled in the mountains, and often soldiers had to march on foot. Retreating or advancing wasn't just exhausting, it could be deadly. All of this had a crushing effect on morale. Imagine spending endless nights in a foxhole with freezing winds cutting through you, surrounded by snow, wondering if you'd even survive until morning. It wore soldiers down both physically and mentally, and many describe the sense of hopelessness that set in during long, drawn-out battles. Korea's terrain and climate made life miserable for tanks. Covering the mountains and valleys in snow and ice, confining the tanks to narrow roads where movement was slow and predictable. The cold caused constant mechanical headaches, engines were hard to start, batteries died quickly, and ice jammed tracks and suspension. Crews sometimes kept engines running all night, even lit fires under the hull just to keep their tanks alive. On the battlefield, snow and icy roads funneled armor into easy ambush zones. Supply trucks struggled in the snow, living tanks, short of fuel and ammo. Snow glare and frozen fog, blinding drivers and gunners alike. At a chosen reservoir, used tanks were vital in breaking through the encirclement, even as many froze up. Later, during the retreat to the 38th parallel, UN armor covered withdrawals, holding back waves of Chinese infantry in brutal winter conditions. And through it all, crews suffered most, trapped inside freezing steel hulls, battling frostbite fatigue, and the unrelating cold as much as the enemy. The main US tanks were the M26 Pershing, the M46 Patton and the Sherman. It was stable on icy roads, but still road-bound. And infantry armed with bazookas, recoilless rifles and mines could set deadly traps.
That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.